Good morning, everyone. I am Nikhil, teaching you science of the class 10th. The very firstly, we are starting about the chapter first, that is the chemical reactions and equations. But before starting the chapter, the very important question is, what is science? Science. It is the study of nature and natural phenomena or natural processes. There are the three branches of science. The very first one is physics, chemistry, and biology. Now, what is physics? It is the branch of science in which we study about the motion and motion related processes like motion of a body, like motion of light, that is in the branch of the optics. After then, we can study about the definition of biology. Then what is biology? It is the branch of science in which we study about the living beings and their basic processes like respiration and digestion of food. The very important definition, what is chemistry? Chemistry is the branch of science in which we study about the structure, properties, compositions and reactions of matter. Now, one very important question, what is matter? All of you know that matter is the anything which occupies space and has mass. The very basic term of the chapter first, that is chemical reaction and chemical equations, starting from the what are chemical reactions. So, on defining chemical reactions, when there is change in chemical properties of any substance under some conditions, that are called the chemical reactions. How can we identify that the chemical reaction is occurring or not? Then, for example, the fermentation of grapes, like cooking and digestion of food, burning of magnesium ribbon, corrosion of iron, yani rusting of iron, we can also say that is the rusting of iron. Now, what are the observations which describes that a chemical reaction occurs or not? There are 6 important observations by which we can see and we can tell that the chemical reaction is occurring or not. The very first one is change in color, second one is change in temperature or heat, third one is change in state, fourth one is change in odor or change in smell, fifth one is evolution of gas, and sixth one is formation of precipitate, that is short form we represent as PPT. Now we are explaining one by one. The very first observation is change in color. The change in color can be observed by the ripening of fruits. Let us take an example, the unripe mango. The unripe mango which is green in color, but when it gets ripe, then it is change in color, that is yellow in color. Hence the change in color shows that the fruit gets ripened. Second, the reaction between potassium iodide and lead nitrate. It is a very important reaction. Please note down this reaction. This is the reaction between Ki, that is potassium iodide, with lead nitrate, that is PbNO3 twice. When these two mix together, then a new substance with yellow PPT, PbI2 is formed. PbI2 is formed. Okay, then this is called as the change in color. This is also the example of formation of PPT, which can be determined at the last point, that is the 6th point also. Next point is change in temperature, which is also called as the change in heat. When there is the change in heat, that means heat can be absorbed or heat can be evolved out, then it is called the change in heat, which can be determined that the reaction is following, the chemical change is occurring. There are two types of reactions in which heat changes. One is the exothermic reaction and other is the endothermic reaction. In the exothermic reaction, the heat is evolved out. Exo means exit means bahar nikalna. When the heat is evolving out, when the heat comes out, then it is called the exothermic reaction. And in the exothermic reaction, we take delta H value as negative. Delta H is change in enthalpy, जिसे आप +1 में पढ़ेंगे enthalpy change in the thermodynamics. That is delta H is negative. So please remember it. If delta H is negative, then it is called the exothermic reaction. But for the endothermic reaction, the heat is absorbing. If heat is to be supplied, then it is called the endothermic reaction, and for this the representation is delta H value should be positive. If delta H is positive, then we call it endothermic reaction. The next is the change in state. Change in state, you know that there are three physical states, that is solid, liquid and gas. But here the chemical change may be occurring in the change in state, like burning of a candle. Burning of candle means that is the solid or liquid wax. Wax is converting into vapors. When it is converting into vapors, that is converted into CO2 and some other oxides, then it can't be reversed back. Hence change of state may determine that the it may be a chemical change. Also the burning of fuel like petrol and diesel, when we burn the petrol and diesel, carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, nitrogen oxides and sulfur oxides are produced. Then burning of fuel is also a chemical change. The next change is that is change in odor. Odor means smell. When the rotting of eggs, rotting of eggs means अंडों का सड़ना. The fresh eggs and old eggs are having different kind of smell than it, that is called the rotting of eggs. There is very foul smell called the rotting smell of eggs. Also the foul smell of sewerage. You all know about the sewerage waste. When the sewerage waste comes out from the sewerage, then it creates a foul smell. That foul smell also is having the change in smell. Change in smell, it is called the change in odor. Next very important process is that is the evolution of gas. Very important point, please note it. Evolution of gas. Then when any gas is evolving out from the reaction, like volcanoes, you always listen about the volcanoes, then many gases are evolved during the evolution of gas. When gas evolves out, then it surely is having the change in chemical change, having some chemical change. So very important example, when a metal reacts with an acid, it is noted in the next chapter also, it is also required. When a metal reacts with an acid, then hydrogen gas is obtained. Example, the reaction is zinc plus HCl, that is hydrochloric acid. Zinc metal reacted with hydrochloric acid, then zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas is evolved. In this diagram also you can see that we are having the zinc granules, very small zinc granules plus zinc dilute sulfuric acid. The same reaction can be done with the help of zinc plus H2SO4, which may form zinc sulfate ZnSO4 plus hydrogen gas. This hydrogen gas is obtained through the delivery tube, and this is in the small beaker having water. The gas produces through bubbles, and these bubbles are having a hydrogen gas. And the conformation of hydrogen gas, how it can be done? Because hydrogen is highly explosive gas. When a burning candle comes close to this gas, then it produces the popping sound. Hence it is the testing that the gas is produced, and this gas is a hydrogen gas which can be tested by the burning popping sound. After next point, the very important and sixth point, that is the formation of precipitate. Earlier you know about in the first point, change in color, we have determined about the reaction between potassium iodide and lead nitrate, that is having the yellow PPT. Now we are taking one more reaction, that the reaction between silver nitrate and potassium chloride. Silver nitrate, that is AgNO3. AgNO3 plus KCl will form AgCl and KNO3. AgCl is having white precipitate. Okay, similarly you can also show in the beaker in the diagram that in test tube there are some precipitates are formed. These precipitates are of barium chromate or barium sulfate. You can also use barium chloride plus sulfuric acid to obtain the barium sulfate, that are also having the white colored precipitate of barium sulfate. So again, recap, we are having the 6 very important points which can be determined to use the change in chemical reaction. Again, please note down, again the changes are change in color, example ripening of fruit, that is change in temperature, that is endothermic and exothermic, change in state, that is the burning of wax or burning of candle, Next is change in odor, that is rotting of eggs, evolution of gas, that is metal reacts with acid to obtain the hydrogen gas, and last one is the formation of precipitate. Thanks. Let's do an exercise. I will give you exercise after this, then you have to prepare for this.